And a very good morning to you, Grenada, and the rest of the world. I'm George Grant, and today happens to be 23rd day, yes, 23rd day of July 2019. Hey, thanks a lot for joining us for today's edition of Gudday Grenada. You know that. Folks, good to see you, good to see you. Boy, this morning we have tons of video for you. It's going to be an interesting morning. Yeah, and we actually have a live person coming, sitting here in the chair next to me this morning. So I'm really pumped up. You can tell by the smirk on my face. Yeah, it's going to be a good morning. So let's take a look at the rundown and see where we go. Man, first off this morning, you're going to be hearing from a chief of police with guts. There's been a video making the rounds. You know that there are a lot of problems in Trinidad, right? Crime. That's a big issue down there. And they've got a police officer, a police commissioner, I should say, who seems quite prepared under very extenuating circumstances to take on the issue. Well, you're going to hear from him this morning. Then, yesterday, I was supposed to show you a video which would explain to you and at least, help you to understand that we're not the only people in the world with a crowded city. And I know it's working. Yesterday, we fired it up and it just went blah, refused to pay any attention to us whatsoever. Well, yes, sir. Last night I worked on it. And I do believe that we have that issue resolved. So, this morning, you're going to be seeing that video. I'm not saying, that because these other cities have the sort of traffic congestion that they do, that it's okay for us to have it here as well. No, sirree, that's not what I'm saying. But I think it'll bring a smile to your face when you see what some of the world's major cities are faced with when it comes to traffic congestion. Another piece which I had planned on sharing with you yesterday was the piece about Sour-sop. Is it a miracle cure? I don't know, but a lot of people, more and more people, really are believing that is. And cure what? Cancer. And we have tons of Sour-sop here. Actually, a few weeks ago, I actually saw on Facebook somebody advertising and asking anybody who had Sour-sop he wanted to buy, because he is apparently setting up or has set up a business to export Sour-sop. That market is really opening up. And I came across a couple of days ago this piece that I'm going to be showing you this morning, where somebody tries to explain the miracle powers of Sour-sop. Some of you older heads in the audience probably say, that's not news, man. I've known that all my life, Well, I'll tell you. Take a look at that piece this morning. Take a look. And you'll realize that there's an awful lot of potential out there. The same way a lot of our mangoes are just going to waste, and so many of our other fruits. Hey, perhaps this is one way to help our economy while, more importantly, at the same time, helping people to have a second chance on life, okay? That's what it's all about, isn't it? Then, oh boy. I don't know how soon this is going to go away, but I'll tell you what. Social media and even the local media, up to last night, I watched a local television talk show here, and the talk still about Mr. Sheldon Scott and what's become known as Cellgate. Some people say PhoneGate, and still others say Cell Phone Gate. You probably got your own caption for it. Well, I guess by now most of you know that Mr. Scott has accepted liability for his exorbitant phone and data bills, which apparently have been paid for by the government of Grenada. And as I say government of Grenada, a thought came to mind, Beverly Sinclair, she's the producer of McWe Chat. On one of our McWe Chats recently, actually on more than one occasion, I've heard Beverly say, "Stop saying it's the government of Grenada who's paying. It's you and me." Because where does the government of Grenada get its money from? Moi and toi. Yeah. So Mr. Scott's bills have been paid for by toi and moi. Okay? Now, I tried desperately yesterday morning to, apparently he made his comment, he made a statement at the end of his daily radio program yesterday. And I've been downloading stuff from YouTube for ages, but I tried, and I tried, and I tried yesterday to get stuff down from YouTube. I don't know if the problem still persists this morning, but after I get through here this morning, I'm going to try giving it a shot. Just out of curiosity, though, because I eventually got his program from Facebook. And you know Facebook's always inviting you to share. So I took the liberty of pulling down his program yesterday. And sure enough, at the end of the program, he made this statement, and I pulled out that piece. Actually, it's only about 5 minutes long or so. I pulled out that piece, and yeah, Georgie Porgy is going to share that with you this morning, because I wanted you to hear it from the horse's mouth. I didn't go writing anything and putting up stuff on my website. I thought, let's get it from the horse's mouth and hear what Mr. Scott said, and just as importantly, how he said it. Okay, so hang in there. That's coming up this morning. Because we have got so much going on this morning, and in short, there's not going to be a national report this morning. Sorry, not going to be a national report. And the reason for that is that I thought, with all this stuff that I've just been mentioning to you, I thought let's take a break and give the people something a little bit different. And after the national report, well, it is a Tuesday morning. What does that mean? Yum on. Saddle up. Here comes Ray. Ray should be in here at about 9:30 this morning. And as always, looking forward to having him sitting right here with me off there. See, right now, take a look. Right now, that empty chair, that chair ain't gonna be empty for much longer. That's where Mr. Roberts will be sitting in just a few minutes, okay? So, there you have it, my friends. That's your rundown for the next 41 minutes or so on today's edition of Gudday Grenada. Is that enough? You want more? Take it easy, take it easy, take it easy. Don't get greedy now, all right? So, let us begin. Some people love him. Some people hate him. But on whichever side of the fence you lay, you've got to give this man kudos. He's got a lot of intestinal fortitude. I am referring to Trinidad and Tobago's Commissioner of Police. He calls a spade a spade. No beating around the bush, as is so prone to happen here in Grenada. Well, this particular video has been making the rounds on social media for the last couple of days. Check it out.
Mine is so tunnel vision that all they see is yellow and red. I am not here for that. I do not see yellow and red. I see black and white. I see right and wrong. And I will intend to do what is required. I am not here in a popularity contest. So the decisions I make, the comments I would make, would be on the strict interest of the well-being of Trinidad and Tobago. Information has been received and confirmed that the cause for these shootings within these areas, between these gangs, was mainly for government contracts. One of which is a box train contract. So we had a shootout where several persons, inclusive of innocent women and children, could have been killed because gangs are fighting over a box train contract. That is what we have reached to in this society. I don't know how much more I continue to have to fight this down, pressure it. It is difficult for the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service to go out there and do our job when it is the state is funding gang members. These individuals, they are not using the funds towards helping the community. Persons will say, well, why should this person be debarred from having a contract because he's not a criminal? In the United States, there are over 300 persons of interest that may be deemed as terrorists, but the United States will not give them a contract to pay in the White House. It is common sense. So if you know these individuals, you know who they are, you know what it is they are doing. In a typical art of war, what you do, instead of facing the enemy head-on, you cut that financial cord, you cut the support system, you cripple them, which is absolutely amazing because I actually heard a politician earlier this week where that politician had the audacity to speak about the police officers, they like to walk around with big guns. But that same politician, I'm sure she would be very comfortable that the same policemen who secure her and her family, they would like to have big guns to protect her. So when it says you want to point fingers at the police, please understand that the criminals out there, they do not have small guns. The type of weapons that they have could do mass damage to many innocent men, women, and children. So I ask politicians, before you want to point fingers and criticize the police officers, we never drew first blood. The criminals out there have sophisticated weapons. It is a war out there. And you have the audacity to say that the policemen just walking around with big guns. I don't know if she was trained by Fazil Mohammed and want the police to walk with pillows. We are not doing that. It is a war out there, and the police will do what is required within the law. And the communities, I wish you could open your eyes and realize you're being used. To the family, to the parents, your sons are being used by these leeches, these parasites. Yes, that's what they are, because they are using society and killing young men for their own benefit. The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, I want to commend the officers. Yes, commend. There were several homicides in the last 48 hours, but 48 hours after that, they came out in full force. But the police officers, whilst most persons in our country, they were home, they were watching television, they were relaxing, I had officers out there putting their lives on the line. And then after you hear politicians upset that police are carrying big guns. But you're not upset, you're not saying a word that the criminals have big guns, and you wonder how they got the big guns, because they got state contracts from government officials. We have a way, however, we go out of our way to fight and go after the rights and protect the rights of criminals rather than to protect the rights of law-abiding citizens. Every time we try to do something, someone will come to find a way why it should not happen. And then we'll speak about the rights. But the rights, I continue to see that the rights of criminals continue to have precedence over the rights of law-abiding citizens.
John's listening out there, and he says, and Grenada has acting this and acting that in these same high-profile positions. Did you guys notice that this man has the same initials that I do? He's got to be some kind of guy, man. GG. Yes, sirree. Before I move on this morning, let me say good morning to those of you out there on social media so far. Justice Simon is saying good morning. He says, oh, Grenada is making headlines, big time. Yeah, Chester. And for all the wrong reasons. Just keep praying for us, my friend. Just keep praying for us. Take a deep breath. John Fitzroy Adams is saying good morning. John is saying good morning. He's checking in from parish number 1, man. Kayaku. Pedro, hello there, Pedro. Good to see you, as always. And, Ashton Fletcher is saying good morning from beautiful Crown City. Where's Crown City? Yeah? Nice to see you. Anthony DeRiggs is saying good morning, everyone, and don't forget to share the live. Anthony, that's Kipling's line. Kipling's the one who's always telling people, share, 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 share. Well, you beat him to it this morning. And right after you came on, he came on. And Kipling didn't forget, though, to send his blessings to everyone, as he does. Boy, you don't know how much we appreciate that. Sean, SD Notap, is saying, good morning, Brother George and fellow listeners. Good morning, Brother Sean. Good to see you. Sherry Wilson is saying, good morning. So is Benedict Cador. All right. So those are your early morning greetings. Let's now get back to business. Friends, you're about to watch some dizzying video on traffic conditions in major cities around the world. And while I'm not sure that we here in Grenada will ever get to that stage, I'll be honest with you. At times, it feels like we are already there. Those of you who drive know what I'm talking about. Now, I'm a licensed driver, but I don't have an automobile, so I can't say that I know how it feels for you. But as a passenger trying to get around in this place, wow, it's awful. Anyhow, we may not be there in terms of sheer numbers, but in terms of the actual congestion, we're very close to it. Take a watch.
DEF CON is the biggest hacker convention of the year. It's a place where thousands of hackers come to hear talks, to demonstrate their newest hacks. It's actually a place that's so dangerous to be on the internet that they tell you to turn off the Wi-Fi and the Bluetooth on your phone. And they tell you not to use the ATMs too, because those could be hacked as well. This is the DEF CON ballroom. It's sort of the main room where things are happening, and it's pretty wild. I think this is car hacking village. This car is locked. Can you get me in?
I'll unlock it for you. Should be good.
Hacking is no longer like this fringe activity, and if you are at DEF CON, there's a good chance that you're here because you want to learn what could happen to you or your company.
Anyone here first time in the SCCTF? Holy crap.
I invited Chris to hack me with his team, but they're going to hack me using social engineering, which is essentially hacking without any code. They just use a phone and an internet connection.
We help people with human security issues by testing vulnerabilities for like a network test, but it's for the people network. We test those vulnerabilities, see where the holes are, and then help people learn so they can patch them.
Can we try some of this? Can we try some?
Yeah.
See if it works?
Yeah, we probably could have our star visher here make some phone calls as
Let's do it.
Sure. Do you want to do a sample phishing call?
What's phishing?
Phishing is voice solicitation, and basically what you do is you use the phone to extract information or data points that can be used in a later attack.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Who are you going to call?
Maybe I'll call your cell phone provider
Okay.
and see if I can get them to give me your email address.
I bet they're good. I bet they have my back. But yeah, go for it.
I'm going to spoof from your number, so it's going to look like it's calling from you.
Okay.
Hi, I'm so sorry. Can you hear me okay? My baby, I'm sorry. My husband's like, we're about to apply for a loan and we just had a baby and he's like, get this done by today. So I'm so sorry. I can't call you back. I'm trying to log into our account for uses information and I can't remember what email address we used to log the account. The baby's crying and can you help me? Awesome.
In just 30 seconds,
gmail.com?
Jessica gets my personal email address.
Now, if I needed to add our older daughter on our account so she could call in and make changes, How would I need to go about doing that? You would have to send me a secure PIN through a text message? Yeah, well, the thing is, I don't think I'll be able to receive a text message if I'm on the phone. Shh. Oh, I'm not on there either? So I thought when we got married, he added me to the account. Okay, my
Jessica uses my girlfriend's name and a fake social security number
5127.
to set up her own personal access to my account.
Wait, I'm sorry. So there's no password on my account right now? Can I set that up?
She even gets the support person to change my password.
Thank you so much for your help today.
So she just basically blocked me out of my own account.
I'll get her fed after this. All right, thank you.
Holy shit. So they just gave you access to my entire cell phone account.
You're gonna have to go on and change your password now because it's Jess, my name.
And all it took was a crying baby and a phone call.
Yes.
I really thought that my cell phone company would protect me. I mean, like, this is the most basic stuff, and they're not doing it. And if they're not doing it, you know all these other businesses aren't doing it either. Anyone with a phone and an internet connection can do social engineering. But I was curious, what can a hacker with serious coding skills do?
Well, DEF CON is the world's biggest hacking convention. It's hacking everything. Hacking social, hacking hardware, hacking software, hacking various systems.
I asked Dan Tentler, a well-known security researcher, to turn all of his firepower on me.
I did get into quite a number of things that I found.
So what were the first things you did? How did you start hacking me?
I quickly found your Squarespace blog and had an idea. Basically what I did was created a bogus Squarespace site and sent an email to you, a fish asking you to go to this website, run the certificate installer.
And I did it, because
Yeah.
I'm an idiot.
So once you ran that, it gave me access to your computer, and I created several fake pop-ups that looked like system pop-ups that would ask you for your credentials.
You didn't even have to have my passwords.
No, you gave them to me.
I gave them to you.
Yeah. So I stole your 1Password keychain.
And 1Password is where I store all my other passwords. So effectively
And
by...
your social security number and your Amex stuff and all your stock trading and bank information. I can send email to everyone in this room as you. I am you right now, if I want it to be. If my evilness is working correctly, it should actually be taking pictures of your desktop and pictures through your webcam every 2 minutes. And I have been watching you for about 2 days now. In coffee shops, at your mom's house, on a plane. Here's your editing stuff. There's you. Like,
Oh my god, so this is literally
every 2 minutes.
through my webcam.
Yeah, through this guy.
How badly could you have messed up my life?
I could have made you homeless. I could have made you homeless and penniless.
How?
Like,
How would you make me homeless?
Like, I have control of your digital life in its entirety. I have all your credentials. I have all your access to all your financial information, all your work information, all your personal information. I can pay people with your bank account or your Amex account. I am you. I can fully impersonate. Like, the only thing I couldn't doctor would be like your fingerprints.
This is like as bad as it gets.
It's ridiculous. Yeah, it's bad.
So it turns out that Dan Tentler is very good at his job. I mean, he hacked the hell out of me. He got everything. Well, I mean, frankly, I want to take my computer and throw it into the deepest part of the ocean, and I want to become a hermit, and I want to never touch a piece of technology again, because holy shit, that was everything. That was the keys to my entire life, and he just pulled them out of his...
Help me here for just a minute. I think the guy's name was Murphy. Is he the guy who penned the law which says, if anything can go wrong, it will? You saw what happened there? That clip you just watched had nothing to do with traffic congestion. That was about hacking. Remember yesterday? That's the video I wanted to play yesterday. That's the video I wanted to play. Talking about how serious a situation hacking is and what big business it is. As you just saw, there's even a convention for hackers. Huh? Kind of scary stuff, eh? So, it was not what I had planned, but I think it panned out very well. I'm glad that we did get that on there. Thank you so much. By the way, Ashton Fletcher has just clarified for me that he's in Satir, St. Patrick. Benedict is also chiming in this morning. And so is Sue Patrice. Sue says, morning, Gigi. Facebook showing 39 viewers. Macos. Pat, Sue is referring to you guys as Macos. She says she's tuned into the program. Good to see you, Sue. I don't know where you are this morning, but I've been watching you on Facebook, and you're all over the place. You and my brother, travel agents, boys. When I grow up, I want to be like you guys, traveling the world. I also have a cousin out there in the States, Gloria Hubbins. She too is a travel agent. And these guys are taking the only one that's not taking advantage of social media is my brother. He ain't too hip on that. But Sue and Gloria, I see you guys are spending a lot of time on social media, showing the world your escapades. Good, enjoy it while you can. Donna Joseph is also saying good morning. Now, let's move on to our next video. And this one had better be right. You probably already heard that Sour-sop is apparently a miracle drug, which, it is alleged, can cure cancer. It's a fruit which I have loved all of my life. Sadly, I haven't used as much of it as I probably should. That doesn't mean I haven't had a lot. I have had a lot. Yesterday we were talking about what it was like, when we were kids growing up. Sour-sop and condensed milk. Call it a shake or a smoothie or whatever. Well, I want you to take a look at this video. And as you do, think about whether we here in Grenada, who have an abundance of Sour-sop, are doing all that we can to capitalize on this fruit. And I do pray that this is the correct one. Let's go.
All pharmaceutical companies have hid far from us the fruit that treats cancer. Everyone should know about this fruit. Many people and experts around the world claim that this fruit is the most powerful natural cancer killer in the world. Yes, you got that right, and you should also know that the experts have discovered that this fruit is 10,000 times more powerful than the conventional chemotherapy treatment. But as we mentioned before, the pharmaceutical companies don't want you to know about this super healthy fruit. Why? Well, that's easy to answer, because the largest drug manufacturers can no longer sell their terrible products. Just take a look at the video and find out more about this super healthy fruit. As we mentioned before, many experts around the world think that this is the strongest anti-carcinogen on this planet. And now here comes the million-dollar question: what's the name of this fruit? We can answer that question for you. The name of this miraculous fruit is guanabana, or fruit of the tree Sour-sop. It is a magical product that kills cancer cells. And now here comes another question: how come we don't know about this fruit? Why? Because there are organizations interested in manufacturing synthetic versions, allowing them to make lots of money. Now you can help others by telling them that have to drink the juice of guanabana in order to prevent disease. It is pleasant to taste, and its use does not lead to dire consequences of chemotherapy. You could also plant this tree in the yard. And the best thing about it is that all its parts are useful. What's guanabana? Well, guanabana is a low-growing tree and does not take up much space. It is known as Sour-sop in Brazil, guanabana in Latin America, and Sour-sop in English. Its fruits are large, sweet, are consumed raw, used for the manufacture of beverages, pastries, etc. The interest in this plant is associated with its strong anti-cancer effects. It has many other qualities, but the most interesting thing is its effect on tumors. This plant has proven curative effect on cancer of all types. And you should also know that some people say it is useful in all forms of cancer. Note, you should also know that the plant is a broad-spectrum antibiotic, and that it has powerful antifungal and antiparasitic properties, which can help you regulate the blood pressure levels, acting as an antidepressant, helps in stress and nervous disorders. The source of this information is one of the largest producers of drugs. Since 1970 has more than 20 laboratory tests, which reveal that the extract destroys the malignant cells of 12 types of cancer, including colon, breast, prostate, lung, and pancreas. And to be honest with you, I really think that you'll be amazed when we tell you that the compounds of this tree inhibit the growth of cancer cells 10,000 times more efficient than adriamycin, known a chemotherapeutic agent. And what is more surprising, treatment with extract of Sour-sop destroys only the cancer cells and does not affect healthy cells. We really hope you find this video helpful, and don't forget to share it with your friends and family. Thank you and have a nice day.
So, there you have it. Now, Benedict Cador says, you can also eat the Sour-sop without any additives. And he's absolutely correct. He says, condensed milk or otherwise. Yes, Benedict, you're absolutely right on. But Georgie Porgy grew up loving his condensed milk. Yeah, thank you. It's probably why I'm diabetic today. No good here. There's a comment here. Oh, by the way, Sonia McKee-John says, roll call. Good morning, Sonia, and good to see you. Let's see here. Where's this comment about... Sue Patrice was asking a little while ago, anybody live on Facebook got interrupted from here? Well, Sue, we're not sure where you are this morning. Traveling sales lady. I'm not sure where you were. She said she had to switch over to the website. Okay, Sue, I'll tell you, everything's going fine from here. I'm looking at it on my iPad. I'm also looking at it on my desktop, and everything seems to be going hunky-dory so far. Then, let's see. That's it for Sue. John says, first it was Baltimore, and now Philadelphia is under malware attack. And he puts a link there. Renewed Purpose said a little while ago, George, it is so easy to mess up your live stream if you are a target of the government. There are guys in India and other locations who charge little to mess up your online activity. Renewed Purpose, you're absolutely correct. I'm very much aware of that. I don't know if my attacks have come from India, but I think everybody who's been watching my programs over the years knows that I have been under attack over and over again. But what happened this morning, I really don't think had nothing to do with the internet. That was my boo-boo, and that's one thing I pride myself for. I screw up, I say to you, I'm sorry, I screwed up, okay? I'm not going to cast aspersions or blame where it is not due. Let's see here. Anthony DeRigg says, the heart of the Sour-sop, locally called the Sour-sop gut, was given to people who had the condition called I'm going to read that again for you. Anthony DeRigg says, the heart of the Sour-sop, locally called the Sour-sop gut, was given to people who had a condition called stoppage of water years ago. You know what he's talking about, eh? I ain't going in that direction. I ain't going there this morning. Ray, you ain't going there either. And Donna Joseph says, that's the best way to use it if you're treating an ailment, okay? The Sour-sop gut. Renewed Purpose says, dairy milk is not good for our system, George. Now you're telling me you're Renewed Purpose? After I drink all that coffee with, well, I use low fat. Still dairy milk, right? Okay, okay. John Kennison says, just eat the Sour-sop, man. It's beautiful. Sonia McKee says, it's awesome with lime. I have never tried Sour-sop with lime. Have you, Ray? Ray hasn't either. Sonia also goes on to say, you can use almond milk. You know, Sonia, I thought about that, must have been about a year ago. But I'll be honest with you, I did not gravitate to the almond milk. It just didn't sit too well with Georgie Porgy. Benedict Cador says, back home, I used to make Sour-sop snow ice. Yummin'. We all have, and I'm sure Mr. Roberts did as well at one point. Boy, we used to gobble those things up. Whoosh. Renewed Purpose says we can drink Sour-sop tea every day, at least once. Avoid or control cancer if you already have it. Okay. Renewed Purpose also goes on to say it's also very good for bladder problems and cooling, etc. I don't know, the damn thing just tastes good. I love Sour-sop. Bring Sour-sop next time you're coming, Ray. Margaret says, lime helps to bring out the flavor. Okay, oh, hello there, Margaret. Well, you were only just showing up because Ray got here, right? Where have you been, girl? So, yeah, we'll try to bring out the flavor with some lime. Anthony says, the Sour-sop tea makes you sleep. I should drink a lot of that stuff at night. And Sonia says, please, do try the lime. Okay, so that's it. Now, folks, final segment. Ray is here. Let me just so you believe me. Let me show you. There he is, making himself comfortable. He's wearing a blue and white shirt this morning. Anyhow, we're going to get to Ray in a minute. And Ray, no matter how late we start, I'm going to let you bung away this morning. Oswald Darbo is just showing up. Wait. Benedict Cador says, use the leaf too. Oh, okay. Some sort of remedy, Benedict? John says, 100 lines for being late. He's referring to Margaret. Folks, you know that there's been a lot of talk in the media all over the place about the fact that a former senator who's no longer employed by the government has racked up one heck of a telephone and data bill. And I'm not going to go into all the details because it's been all over the place for the last couple of weeks. However, yesterday, the gentleman at the end of his show made a statement. I'm going to play that statement for you right now because he has admitted liability and responsibility for what was done, and he says he go pay the money back. All right? Mr. Sheldon Scott. Here is his statement from yesterday's program.
I want to take this opportunity as we ending the program here today. I'm not going to take any calls right now. I want to end on a note because over the past few weeks, a lot has been said in relation to me, Sheldon Scott. A lot has been said by many people in different parts of the Grenadian society. And I'm not just talking politics here. A lot has been said by various people in various capacities and so on. And I'd just like to make something very, very clear here. This is the first time I'm speaking on this. First time. I've not said a single word. Neither on this program. No media house can say that they got a quote from me. I've not said a single, even members of my own family cannot say that I've said anything to them in relation to this particular issue of cell phone use and so on. What I can say is this. I would not do anything that would end up costing the Grenadian taxpayer a single cent. That's what I will say. And as such, I have sent to the permanent secretary at the Ministry of Finance this letter, and I'll read right now what I, Sheldon Scott, have sent to the permanent secretary at the Ministry of Finance. Yeah? Dear PS Clerk, I write to you regarding the matter of mobile account 1473-534-5113, currently in the name of the Government of Grenada. I acknowledge that this number was assigned to me in May 2013 in my capacity as Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Youth and Sport, and has been in my possession up to the end of my parliamentary stint in 2016, June 2016. Said number remained in my possession after June 2016, and as such, I accept full liability and responsibility for all charges incurred on said account Digicel number 1473-534-5113 from July 2016 to the present date. Please note that I have discontinued the use of this number, and I trust between myself and your ministry an amicable formula for the repayment and or payment of any sums paid or owed on said account can be reached within a reasonable time frame. Looking forward to your response on this matter soonest. So I have sent this letter to the permanent secretary at the Ministry of Finance. Any monies that are owed on that account will be paid by me. Because the way I've been hearing some people getting on and saying things out there, I'm wondering if on some occasion, and Devon, you can bear me out, if on some occasion I've said that I don't take responsibility. I'm wondering if on any occasion I have said that I did not and do not take any responsibility for this. Any money, any, down to the last halfpenny, if we still used to use halfpenny, will be repaid by myself. Yeah, I just want to make that clear because I'm addressing it now. I don't intend to address it again. I do not intend to address it again, but I thought it important because there are people out there who are going after my children, which I take extremely personal. There are people out there who are going after members of my family. If you have a problem with Sheldon Scott, keep it with Sheldon Scott. You see, when it comes to my family and my extended family, I take that one kind of personal. Yeah, if it means that I have to go to the Royal Grenada Police Force in relation to the harassment of certain members of my family, I'll do it. If it means I have to go the legal route for some of the things that have been said, and for some of the people that have been saying some things there, if I have to go the legal route, no problem. Yeah? But as it comes on this matter, I've dispatched this letter to the permanent secretary. I trust it is in front of her by now, but it was sent, and that is the only statement that I'm making on this particular issue. All right? I think that should be the end of it. Oh, yeah. Yeah. All right. No, and I'm not giving anybody my new number. No. Don't message for it. I am not giving any copies of my new number. No. All right? Okay, folks, that's all the time we have for Hard Talk today. It's been wonderful being here. Indeed, and whatever you say and whatever you do, keep it safe and secure. We want to be speaking to and with you.
Not about you.
I am out of here.
Okay. All right, folks, all right. I know you're all charged up and ready to go. You know, I usually begin the segment with Ray by saying, okay, Ray, what's up your sleeve this morning? Dummy. You think I'm going to ask Ray what's up his sleeve this morning? Nah. What I am going to do is quickly pay some bills here, and then I'll get right back with Ray after this.
Conveniently located in the Grandstand Shopping Center, for over 40 years, Food Fair has provided quality service at affordable prices. Now, grocery shopping is made easier and more convenient from the Food Fair web store.
Hey, babe. Listen, I need you to go down to Food Fair to get some groceries.
All right, no problem. Right away.
Thanks, babe. What are you doing? You're supposed to be going Food Fair to get a grocery, man.
I am. Didn't you know you can order your groceries online from the Food Fair web store?
Are you serious?
Of course. All you have to do is just to log on to www.foodfair.gd with credit card in hand, and with an order of $100 or more, Food Fair Grenadans will deliver up to 3 miles away. And you don't even have to worry about your information, you know. Their safety measures are excellent.
So hold on. You just order online and Food Fair will deliver to you?
Yep.
Oh, baby, better hurry up and order, man.
I already did. They should be here any minute now.
Enjoy easy online shopping anytime from your home or office from the Food Fair web store. Food Fair, where you can fill your baskets without emptying your pockets.
Juve chocolates, cocoa nibs, and cocoa balls from Diamond Estate Grenada are now available at Amazon.com, Amazon.ca, Amazon.co.uk, and GrenadaMarket.com. Try the sensational touch of nutmeg and a touch of ginger chocolates, 75% dark and rich, 100% pure cocoa, and their 60% dark and sweet chocolate bars today. Amazon Prime members enjoy free shipping on these orders in the USA, Canada, and Europe. GrenadaMarket.com. When you can't come to the island, the products of the island will come to you.
Easy living should be convenient. With Grenneck, it is. Dial 237 for any Grenneck department, or for customer service, streetlight outages, or if it's unsafe to trim a tree near a power line. For streetlights and service issues, please note the pole number. From just about anywhere, you can also check your bill balance and other account information. Just keep your Grenneck access number handy. Dial 237 for Grenneck. It's that easy. Grenneck, energizing our Grenada.
Juve chocolates, cocoa nibs, and cocoa balls from Diamond Estate Grenada are now available at Amazon.com, Amazon.ca, Amazon.co.uk, and GrenadaMarket.com. Try the sensational touch of nutmeg and a touch of ginger chocolates, 75% dark and rich, 100% pure cocoa, and their 60% dark and sweet chocolate bars today. Amazon Prime members enjoy free shipping on these orders in the USA, Canada, and Europe. GrenadaMarket.com. When you can't come to the island, the products of the island will come to you.
All right, pilgrims. There he is, all saddled up, and like me, he's not wearing a crown this morning. Good morning, Mr. Robertson. How are you, sir?
I would not complain, George. Morning to your long list of participants, viewers.
Boy, Ray.
And thanks for the medication. I'm not too sure. I'm a convert of hubs and sours yet, but I do like Sour-sop.
You too.
Back, I had a piece last night. I have a piece in the fridge. I'm going to throw a little lime in it, as the young lady said a while ago.
Somebody says it brings out the flavor.
That's what I'm hearing, so I eat it just like that.
Really?
And I remember as a little boy, had a lot of Sour-sop tea.
Already?
Bush tea.
Yep. Yes. We all have. We all have. Ray, listen. I mentioned I ain't going to ask you what's up your sleeve, but first I want to pay some attention here to some of the comments, because let me tell you, judging by the comments I see here this morning, our audience is irate about what happened. And I think that reflects the way the people of this country feel today. Donna Joseph says, so Sheldon, for the past 3 years since you left the public service or government, weren't you costing the Grenadian taxpayers money for the use of that phone, which you should have given up since 3 years ago? So says Donna. Sonia McKee John says, you should be in jail, you damn fool. Benedict Cador says, a little late, don't you think? I guess he's referring to the statement that came out yesterday morning. John Caneson says, he is going to pay from his own pocket? Really? John's question. Oswald Darbo says, can this admission of abuse of the public purse lead to a criminal investigation? Ray, I hope you're making note of all these things, because you got to answer all these things.
Well, I'm going to answer it in a different way.
Okay. All right. Sonia McKee says, you ain't, Sonia, I'm not going to use that word here. You ain't paying. Okay. You should be on the. Margaret Francis says, so he wants an amicable agreement with a reasonable time? Really, Mr. Scott? When you screw up, you can't set the terms. So says Margaret. And she goes on to say, how does he define reasonable time? Sonia says, go back to Trinidad. That's where you belong. Sonia, kind of harsh this morning. Kind of harsh. And I know tempers have flared, but let's try and keep it down. Benedict Cador says, 2016 to 2019, and he making it seem like he's so righteous. No one should interfere with his family. But is that the only reason why he is now reacting? Don't know. I don't know. As I buy it, I sell it. I showed Audia exactly what the man said yesterday morning. Donna Joseph says, Sheldon is trying to deflect from the issue by talking about people harassing his children and family. This boy could lie. So quick to pass judgments. I don't know. You may be right. But Sonia says, no transparency, Scott. John says, when fiscal space allows, of course. I guess that's when he's going to repay, eh, John? When the fiscal space allows. Yvonne Joseph says, morning, Mr. George and friends. Lord have mercy on Grenada. Never a dull moment in my homeland. Sonia says, no, Ray. Make the juice and put the lime in it.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Mr. Roberts, you know the whole story. I don't have to go into it. And you hear
well, what I can tell you, George, that I'm not going to debate, his side of the story. What I will tell you is that a few of us as civil society are considering, and we have asked attorneys to look into it, the possibility, if all laws provide, that we can file a citizens' class case against the government. Not against the ministers, but the particular individual who has, for 3 long years, run up a bill in excess of 100,000. I'm hearing it's in excess of 100,000 a year. 20,000 a month, you work that out. So you're talking about a massive bill paid by taxpayers. So our idea is that if we can be advised or guided by legal minds that in our laws there is a provision or they make some kind of opportunity for the citizens to file a class case against the government, we certainly will proceed to do that, because the truth shall never be provided, as far as I'm concerned, by the government. I think the government is part of the cover-up. So we need to take it beyond there. In fact, I'm saying that if the government does not set up independent committee to not just investigate the Scott behavior, his exploitation of the taxpayers, but are there other people right now enjoying such huge benefits at the expense? When I was driving up to you, there were about 50 people debushing at the side of the road. They're looking for money to buy books and what have you for their children when the new school term starts. And there are people like Sheldon Scott who are spending $20,000 plus a month for pleasure via the taxpayers. So we need to have, certainly, as somebody said, some transparency. When it started, who ought to be held responsible, the total cost to the Grenada government and the taxpayers, And more important, going forward, what mechanism we as a people and the government will put in place to ensure that there is no such abuse. So really and truly, that is the essence of what we're trying to get.
Right, just let me say this. You mentioned that the cost may be over $100,000.
A year.
A year.
Yeah.
Now, okay. Now, theoretically, remember, we have to be careful here because we said that the 3 bills in question, April, May, June, and each one was over $20,000.
Right.
Okay. Now, we are only, or apparently people are only assuming that the $20,000 may have been for more than 3 months. I mean, if it was for a year, you're talking $250,000, 240,000 bucks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
But until that evidence comes out, that's just old Georgie thinking.
And you're right. You're right. But remember, there are civil servants running this thing. I'm going to the Ministry of Finance in a moment to sign or to give a certificate that I'm alive, so my pension can be paid.
I can vouch for Ray. He is alive, looking dead.
That's correct. So remember, there are people, human beings like me and you, who are managing this process. So somebody knows what the figures are. It's not alien. Somebody knows what it is. And what we need to know, the 3 years since he has ceased being a servant of the state, what cost it is to we, George, we, not just the government, but we. So the only way you could bring all these things, and we need to set that tone so subsequent generation will know that there are consequences for doing things like what Scott is doing. Scott, in fact, I'm going to, again with my colleagues, and I'm talking about civil society people, write the Commissioner of Police, the fact that this gentleman has admitted, what is the COP doing? He is admitting to a crime. That's what he's doing. It is not legitimate. So he's saying to the nation now, I am admitting to it, and I want you, the people of Grenada, to be, as Margaret said, to give me what it is. Is it amicable time, or Margaret used the word a while ago? I can't remember.
Okay.
So he is now he is the person who wants to determine how we treat with him going forward. Isn't it setting an example for more Sheldon Scott's behavior in Grenada? Is it the kind of example your grandchildren, let's say grandchildren now, we're not talking about because our children are now big. Is it the kind of example you want to go back to the schools and ask the question, and the children will tell you, this is a norm, this has been a norm in Grenada for a while. We want to let people know there are consequences for wrongdoing.
And if indeed there is an investigation, when the results come out, I can guarantee you, Ray, the public is going to be very apprehensive and reluctant to accept the results of that investigation if this is done by government.
Well, yes, I would agree. But I think if we can get the Bar Association represented and the Conference of Churches or the Labour Movement or the Chamber of Commerce, a three-man investigation headed by a retired judge or somebody of that nature, I think we will certainly accept it. Because there's nothing we can do it has happened already. I don't know that Scott is that wealthy to pay back that money in a week or 2 or a month. I was in the Senate, so I sort of know what the salary, and I worked in the service for a long time. I know what the salary of a government minister. So, and if you're a junior minister, you barely used to reach now it's around 4,000, 5,000 a month. So there's no way he could pay that back unless he has property. So I'm saying we need to do what ought to be done now. And it's in the interest of the Prime Minister and the interest of the government. It is the interest. What he has done there is a mockery of the society. If I had to advise him, I would not take that route. Here's a man who is on the air, who is a part of the ruling party, who carries on the premier program, who has a listenership, and he's admitting to fraud. That's what it is. He's admitting to it. And he's now boldly saying he's prepared to go to the police against those of us who are irate. I mean, George, come on, you sitting there.
Life ain't fair.
That's right.
Chester Simon says Grenadian police should thank Sheldon Scott for doing the work for them. He committed a crime. He admitted to it. The police just have to arrest him and charge him.
That's correct.
That's a serious offense.
And I hope that is the procedure. I hope so. I mean, George, we have to be recognizing in Grenada that if behaviors are left unchecked, if everybody feels to pay his or her license and just no insurance, just drive, sooner or later we'll have chaos, across the country. That's the reason why the police stop you and check for your license and your insurance. So at least we know if you get into some accident, there's something that the person who you're liable to couldn't. But just to accept Sheldon's letter, I mean this ridiculously written letter, shamelessly written letter to be aired on the broadcast media. I mean, George, I have never heard anything worse than that. And I've lived for a pretty long time in Grenada. I've never heard anything worse than that.
You mentioned a little while ago that civil servants who are in the system, they know what's going on inside. And so getting back to this investigation for a minute, as I mentioned, there will be a level of apprehension about the results that we're told of on that investigation. And I'm hoping that when the results of the investigation, if there is one, come out, the public servants will speak up and either confirm the results that we're being told or refute them. Because they will know. They have the books.
That's correct. Well, George, I'll tell you what, I hope I can get a half a dozen citizens, I don't need more, to launch, to do a protest in front of the Ministry of Finance, as long as it takes to get some investigation going. If I can find 5 people in me, get police permission in front of the Ministry of Finance with placards every day at 12 to 1, so not disturbing production, 12 to 1, demanding that this thing, because if you cannot allow this thing to just go as the marketing board, there's nothing happening. We heard about the challenges or the behaviors that were not accepted in the marketing board. We heard the Integrity Commission going to investigate. Well, I am sure that is going to blow away. And, we'll just, remember that was part of the news. Mm-hmm. But we need to have conclusions to some of these things.
But Ray, come on. You and I have been hearing about investigation after investigation after investigation, and we never hear outcome.
So that's what I'm saying. I am hoping, and I'm working on it too, let me tell you this, to get about 6 or 7 of us to stand up in front of the Ministry of Finance for as long as it takes. I mean, some of us are retirees, so we have nothing to lose. We ain't looking for no work. Well, I ain't looking for no work, and I want to work again. I can tell you that. So nobody could punish me. The only work I do is with civil society, with what I like best these days, Paralympics, Disabled Council, and things like that. But quite frankly, I hope there are some brave people, like we see in the United States, in England, and other parts of Europe, who are going to just protest these things in a civil way, as long as it takes that the government love the people in Puerto Rico. So we need to see behaviors that would tell the leaders that we elect, come on, men and women, you have to be better than that in public office.
Donna Joseph says, this man said on his program that he has dispatched a letter to the permanent secretary in the finance ministry, and he has nothing more to say on the cell phone matter. How rude can this fellow be after he has admitted to fraud? And Ray, before you say anything, okay, Donna, Ray is going to endorse what I'm about to say to you. Yesterday, when this news broke, I called Ray. And I said, Ray, this has happened. I want to invite this man on my program on Sunday morning. Look at him. You see him grinning? He did not take too kindly And Ray and I have been friends for years. He did not take too kindly to my suggestion, okay? And I tried to explain to him, I said, look, Ray, let's look at it this way. This may be an opportunity to open up a reconciliation process for this country, not just for the cell phone thing, but reconciliation, period. There's a lot of anger and resentment in this place. We're too factionalized, you know. I'm right, you're wrong. See the reaction he gave a little while ago? Laugh? That's exactly what he did. Ray laughed, my friend laughed at me. Okay? He didn't take too kindly to it. Folks, I wanted to invite this man in here on Sunday, not to antagonize or to humiliate him. We all know that what he did was wrong. He has essentially admitted that it was wrong. And what I wanted to do, Grenada, cuss me if you want, is to say, hey, Mr. Scott, we know you were wrong. You know you were wrong. Not a nice thing to do. But Mr. Scott, we claim to be a Christian community, a Christian people. We say that we believe God. Yeah. How many of you go to the house of God on a Sunday morning? Thank you, Jesus. Hallelujah. We praise you, Lord. And before you come out to the church, you're cussing somebody. Tell me, isn't that the truth? And I wanted to ask you, people, on Sunday morning, to forgive this man. Forgive him and let this incident be the start of a reconciliation process. Well, last night, I sat down and I watched the video I showed you this morning. The man said, he done with that. He ain't talking about that no more. I even asked Ray to get me a phone number. Did you get the number?
Not yet. I'll try.
You're going to keep trying?
Yeah.
Okay. Get a number for the man, because I think you heard him say that that number, the 5113 or whatever it is no longer in effect, no longer in service. So, Ray, I don't know, boy.
Well, I want to see him. I'll be fair with you. I don't have a problem with conciliation, forgiveness, but in this case, I would love to see the police have him in the back of the van with his two hands, whatever you call it, tied together, and bring him in front of magistrate or whoever it is, that the public can get a sense that there are consequences for doing wrong things. After that, well, you know, we can be whatever, genuine, or I don't care whatever the end result is in that case, whatever the society wishes to. But for now, I would love to see the Royal Grenada Police Force do what it ought to do, which is to pick up a gentleman who have admitted to a criminal act. I mean, if somebody kills somebody and they openly confess it, as far as I know, I've followed news for all my life, police come and pick him. It's a crime too. So I am awaiting, and I'll make that call, I'm awaiting to hear the CPO, the Chief Commissioner of Police, and his, whoever it is, act upon it. Not to act would be, in my opinion, sending a message again that you can get away with doing wrong things.
Yeah.
And I hope the people who are on your Facebook and on the others, Instagram, whatever they may be, continue to keep it in the spotlight. It's not good, and we must let our children and grandchildren know Sheldon Scott behavior is not good for civil society and for any society, in fact.
All right. Sherry Wilson says he would not accept your invitation, Gigi.
Well, let's put it this way. He needs
You can try.
Yeah, you could try.
Okay. And remember what I said. It's not about bringing him in here to antagonize him or give him a rough time or anything. It's a platform for him to admit, which he began the process yesterday, saying, hey, not nice, wrong. But then I would have sat here at the risk of having you tear me to shreds and beg you, please, forgive. That's why I would like to see the man here. But may or may not happen, I don't know. If I can get a hold of him, if any of you know how to get a hold of Mr. Scott, please, email me.
He lives a stone throw from me, actually. We live in the same area.
Well, don't throw stones, but try and get his attention. Okay.
I meant he lived a stone throw from my doorstep, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
John says, if the scales don't get balanced, there can only be one outcome.
What is that outcome?
Yeah. Arthur Langine says, that's a good idea you have, Brother George. Please invite him. Well, my God, I'm glad to see at least one person out there agrees with me. Ray's laughing at you, Arthur.
No, George, I commend
He's
you.
laughing at me.
I commend the effort of the initiative, George.
Okay. Akeem Brown says, really, George? Forgive? Marcus Williams says, Grenada has no law and order. Grenada has no law and order. A matter that's supposed to be in police hands, a man saying what should be done to him. Land of true jab.
Good poetry.
Sonia McKee says, we want a payment plan from him.
No. I don't know that. As I said, look, the first thing that has to be done is we have to head to the court. I mean, it must be, George, listen, some of us who don't pay our taxes, we are humiliated. Mr. Burke was humiliated in Parliament, in the media. The public service, well, not the public, I believe it's the politician on this occasion, leaked whatever they believe, and the people got an impression that was false. Here you have a gentleman who is admitting to robbery, that is robbery, of in excess, I would say, of $500,000 or more dollars. He can't pay that back. We perhaps could do, as you said, at some point to forgive. But he must be brought to the court like every other citizen who I know. We have, I mean, Ruel was humiliated. Investigation into I know the gentleman. I know him. I actually, I'm a friend of his.
And you say you know the gentleman. Yeah. I don't know Mr. Scott, other than in the days when he was in the Senate and I used to do the broadcast of the Senate. We say, good morning, good afternoon, that's it, okay. Now, this is why people think I chup it. This man has crucified me on his program. Back in the days when we had Chime, the radio station, oh Lord. Yeah, he let me have it. He let me have it, boy. And here I am, begging for forgiveness for him. No, I'm not stupid. No, I ain't crazy. No, I ain't no dodoy. I just practice what I preach. I say I love God and I believe God.
I too.
And he said, George, I've forgiven you for a lot of things.
I will do too. But I want to see the process evolve as it should. That's why we have laws. Yeah, I mean, Madoff is in jail for how many years? Margaret will tell me what, 105 or 90 something, and he went in what, at 80 something, for doing wrong, fraud, whatever it is. They put him in jail because he did some good too, I suppose. So I'm saying we can give Mr. Scott whatever he deserves after the process. but he must go through the process.
Okay.
And that's why I'm championing what I'm I hope, as I said, if the government do what is right, particularly the investigation, but if they fail, a few of us, once the attorneys advise us that it is a legitimate process to take to court, we'll do it. Remember that in Barbados, David Commission took the frontal stroke government to court. Remember when they were building the Hyatt Hotel, whatever it was, and the company itself, the Hyatt company, conducted their own environmental impact assessment. And the court ruled, no, the state must do an independent one. So, I know it's a different thing, but the point is, we saw what happened in Barbados. And maybe we should test the waters here. Because too many things are occurring in Grenada. I don't even think Pontius Pilate performed in that region. You just imagine we elect people and they do things that are completely out of sync with the laws that govern them and us. George, you struggle every month to pay your bills to stay in the air. Just think about it. And here is a man of very little substance. Just like you, I was accused of stealing, all kind of things. I don't listen to the guy, but people stop me and tell me, this man is saying, I say, look, I don't listen to an idiot. So I wouldn't hear. And the point I'm making, it might have been taxpayers' money that carried on this thing for years. I'm saying might. I'm assuming. So I could be wrong, but the point I'm making to you, George, here you are now asking for forgiveness. And I'm asking that the court, whatever.
I am asking for forgiveness. He's not asking for forgiveness.
No, you are asking. I am asking that it proceed as the laws of the state require.
Fair enough. Anthony DeRiggs, regarding me asking him on the program, Anthony says, guess he'll have to get clearance from above. I understand what Anthony is saying, because people who've been listening to me for the last 50 years,
I agree with that.
they know that I've been trying to get these guys on my program and they ain't coming. Anyhow, Donna Joseph says, well, it's now I believe the saying that once you are a higher up member of this regime, you are untouchable, and you can also be uncouth too, because you are covered by your alliance.
And you could also be rich. Don't forget that one.
Yeah. Boy, that's why I always broke, boy. John says, if you steal a Sour-sop, you're banged up in jail. Yet you do something like this, and nothing.
This is really, I can't believe that somebody sent me the letter via the WhatsApp, and I'm saying to the person, I only listened because of curiosity, but how could it? People had to advise him. I don't know how that could be a letter of intelligence. You're basically telling us, yes, I do it, but on my terms, you want to repay on, his terms. There's no, I didn't hear apology. I didn't hear that I am saddened in the way that I believe when you're looking you're looking to be pardoned, if not emotionally, I didn't get any sense of emotion. I didn't get any sense of regret. I'm not talking about it again. That's what I heard in the end. So you people can go to hell. So George, unlike you, I hate saying it, and I hope people forgive me. I hope he could spend a couple months in Richmond Hill, a couple of years.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Michelle Forsyth says, we need more sincere pronouncements like Ray's just now. She says, I'm happy to hear that someone is concerned about the messages we are sending to our youth. So says Michelle Forsyth. Benedict Cador says, we could forgive without him coming on the program.
I would love to hear him on your program. I would love to hear him chat with somebody, you know, without being antagonized and reminding him. Because, I mean, he spends a day, the list of things he has said about Nazim Burke, I'm sure you'll need about 10 books with at least 1 million pages if you were to transcribe what he has said about this gentleman over the last, how many years he on this program.
Kipling says the money will be repaid. I do believe that sadly the taxpayers will be responsible for doing that.
Well, that is correct. He can't, the guy, I hate saying that, the guy comes in the supermarket and asks the people what he purchases on the weekend. Now, let's not get into this repaying thing.
Well, here's a slightly different perspective. It's coming from Benedict Cador. Benedict says his presence on the program, I imagine, would only antagonize more.
Well, again, if you are saddened that you made blunders, you certainly would take a break from the program. He has virtually continued unabated. So I don't know if there's any regrets. George, look, my mother died 3 weeks ago, and I haven't played tennis since, really. This is not because I don't want to play, but, there is some part of me that really don't click as it should. So I'm really more quiet and more. I miss your program for about 2 weeks or so. Not that I couldn't do it, but there's some emotion that comes into you for some things. Something of that nature. I would feel hurt if I have one son. I have brothers and sisters, and that is playing up on the radio. I would be on the radio. The guy is blessed by human hands on earth. That's why he's doing what he's doing. George, if I'm employed with you and I did such, I'm sure you would, if not show me the door, say, Ray, take a break from this thing for the next 4 months or 2 months. I'll pay you. Stay away.
John Bruno says we have to look at his records as far back as 2013.
Well, some people have records before that. I wouldn't get into it. It's not necessary.
Fitzroy Adams says, George, yes, he's going to pay it back with our taxpayers' money right under the table.
You see what is the perception? So the perception is that nothing will happen, business as usual.
Marcus Williams says, if I defrosted the government, I wonder if they would leave it like that. Marcus, I don't think you meant, oh God, I don't think you meant defrosted the government. I think you may have meant defrauded. If I defrauded the government, I wonder if they would leave it like that and let me decide what they should do to me.
George, have you had such entertainment in a long time?
No. It's entertaining. I don't mind laughing.
I think Paul Skeens Douglas would be rivaled by this gentleman.
Sherry Williams says, you just have a good heart, George. Thank you, Sherry. I'm glad you saw that. Kipling says, George, you're like me. Let God take care of that. But remember, God help those who help themselves. Yes, Skippy. Donna Joseph says, try and you'll find out. That's all I can do, Donna. That's all I can do. John says, Ray, will the payment be made in a Will the payment be made in a briefcase or an envelope?
Well, I hope the payment is made at the television to film the gentleman when he goes to the treasury well, I don't know how he'll be paid, whether in cash or in credit card or whatever form. But I hope that could be filmed or televised, because like your communications been telling us, the feeling is that we are going to be paying it back, not him.
Ann Thomas says, good morning, Mr. Grant. Grenada needs prayer. We need a national day of prayer. I am serious. Girl, a day?
Well, George, I don't know. I say that we need good people, because bad people pray, and it means very little. I think we need more good people, and that is the drought we're experiencing.
Ray,
No, I'm dead serious about it. I see that everywhere I go, unrepentant. I may be in the bad group, but to me, I have never seen so many bad people in a country at one time.
Ray, we're outnumbered. No question about it.
There's no question.
We are.
No, I'm hearing people defending this thing.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lady on Facebook who I spend a lot of time antagonizing. She seems to support nothing that is morally sound. There's an excuse to point that 20 years ago, John did it, and 5 years ago, somebody repeated it, and not saying 20 years ago it was wrong, 5 years ago it was wrong, and today it is wrong. So that's my analysis, that you could have a day of prayer every day, but we must begin to mold people who are more civil, people who believe in something, rather than people who seem to grasp that, boy, if I hold on to George, I shall be on the heavenly side of earth.
Pat Will. Pat Will what? I'm kidding, Pat. Pat Will says, Ray, I agree with your sentiments. Scott was unapologetic and insincere. As a Grenadian taxpayer, I feel insulted.
That's correct. And that's how it should be echoed, George, because as I say to people every day, I try my best with the young people I play tennis with every day to tell them things like, look, you need to have a career. The good times are not long. By the time you get to 40, maybe even 35 now, you begin to feed. There's a new generation. But if there are people who can behave like Sheldon, I mean, people like me who try to lend a good advice or give a good advice, I mean, they can say, Ray, but you are in the minority. You fellas are now in your 60s and you fellas are struggling.
Yeah, yeah. Sonia McKee-John says, who money bigger, marketing board or Sheldon? Mr. Edwards is no more, but Sheldon reigns supreme.
I wanted to sing Calypso. Tell her enter the 2019, the Marjorie preliminary judging contest. I'm sure she's going to make it into the final.
Kipling Francis says, remember, we are dealing with people who wash their shame and drink the water from KCM. Come down. And Barbara Ann Jack says to you, finally here, she says, true, Ray. Okay, Ray.
Yes, I know you have to get out of this place. I'm doing like you two now.
Ray, you're right. This has been a funny program. I've enjoyed the laughter, but deep down inside, I'm still very, very saddened for my country. Okay, this is just one incident, and that's why I'm talking a reconciliation process, not just Sheldon Scott. Look at this thing with Spice Mass right now. Did you see the program last night with Beyond the Headlines with Beverly and Godfrey Augustine?
Well, George, I'll tell you the truth, George. I more listen to the Catholic radio station, and that's when I'm in my car, or the Seventh-day Adventist.
That's since Chime went off the air.
That's since Chime. I know SG is out there, so two of my friends.
Is she off the air?
Yeah, they're out there. Paul station has started a sort of music we grew up with. Music we grew up with.
Paul Roberts?
Yeah, I like it. So I'm on it now. But I'll be fair with you. I'm not thrilled by the news anymore. I'm not thrilled by what I'm seeing. As I said to you, since this attorney was employed to host the Beyond the Headline, I have not looked at it.
But hold on a minute. I see Odette.
Yeah, well, I understand they are feeding her out. You know, I said to you, I wrote letters
far
and wide across the world.
I've seen them.
American congressmen, OAS director, right down the line. The owners in Trinidad and Tobago, Barbados, all the major entities, that we have now reached a stage where the state is using a minister or somebody who holds ambassadorial standing to host the Leading Talk program. So I'm told that somebody feed it, well, I mean, recognized what I was saying and person is
Because last night I actually heard Odette suggesting
She
that
been there
maybe
for
they'll
last-
come back. Maybe they'll come back and continue last night's program next week. You know, so.
Well, I saw the little piece on the incident in the
Spice Mash.
and I'm saying to people, I'm not judging what is right or what is wrong. The one thing I'm certain about, CEOs are supposed to be intelligent people and people who can rise above the normal. And for me, the gentleman really could have lifted himself above that.
Flew off the handle.
Walk out the door or go to another office, call the security.
Hey, stop. I will be the first to join you in agreeing that this man could have handled the matter better. But Ray, whoa there. And this came up on the program last night. I am sitting down in my office doing my business. You come to the door and create a ruckus and tell me, well, I should get up and go to another joke you're making.
Well, for
joke
me,
you're making.
I have been able to do one thing in life very well. I handle things like that with utmost ease. Now, in the street, it may be a different thing, but I have a sense that people are not what they are all the time. And for me, what I saw, and I think I saw the original tape, I see nothing there would have aggravated me to respond in this manner. You see, that's the kind of forgiveness I have in me. I would be different, but because I'm serving the public. I mean, somebody asked me if I could sell water, and I say no. I mean, there's a friend of mine who's a friend of yours, came into my office, did the same thing. And I said, my friend, you can, if you want to take my desk, take the desk. I'm going to something where it's more useful. And I left him there.
Doesn't that set a bad precedent that because I am a nice guy and I will vacate my office?
Just temporarily.
Just for you?
Temporarily.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. And that's why I said to you, I have never heard some radio station. I would not listen to Mr. Scott. Because what am I listening to? Is to get vexed or to pay attention to him? You know, there's a young tennis player, Rod, I call him, you know, he said to me once, a sentence you remember that I said once, I would not dignify an idiot.
Okay.
And he said to me, as a little boy, he remembered that. Know that he's a big man, grown-up man. You know, because if you're going to battle that thing, George, you're going to be in trouble.
All right. Listen, there's a call coming in here. Let me see if I could answer this call. I think this call is coming from a gentleman by the name of Mr. Junior George. Junior? Hello? Junior?
Are you live?
Yes, I'm live, Junior.
Oh, sorry, I'll call you back later. Sorry about that.
Junior, after I shut out Mr. Roberts to listen to your call.
I'm so sorry.
Okay, we'll talk later. All right, that's Junior George.
Yeah. So George, that's how I see it. I see some battles are unnecessary, and people sometimes come to me and say, and I say to them, look, if you don't reply to that person, he leaves you feeling bad. If you answer, you give him a sense of attention.
Margaret Francis says there is a difference between a private business and a public business. When last I checked, public funds go into the SMC.
Well, let me put it this way. I go to pay my digital bill. I go to pay my flow bill, cable and wireless, and what's the other one? And Grenada. I see people there sometimes, I mean, they up in arms against whoever it is, saying that, look, you have inflated my bills. But I noticed that many of these folks, instead of flaying up and doing what is erratic, they peacefully bring some kind of a solution. I see it in Nawasa too. So I'm saying that, yes, it's your office. Person may be out of place. But why you want to create a bacchanal and chuck somebody out and push the door? We know it's your office. And there's nothing inside it, and the person didn't come with a gun. I mean, so to me, I don't know. As I say to people, for me, that I would not be in trouble for saying something like that. In fact, I'll shake your hands and take you outside.
All right. Okay. See, Let me say thank you, Mr. Roberts. You know, we've been doing Gudday Grenada since, what, April?
Last year? Or this year?
Since May last year.
Okay.
Okay? And yes, we've had some long programs, but we have never gone more than an hour and a half, which we have this morning.
I didn't realize that.
Thanks to you and your big mouth, right? You know?
Let me go get some things done now, George.
We do have work to do, don't we?
Yes, go and get some things done.
And Thomas says, that's the reason I'm saying Grenada needs prayer. Grenada is the devil hand.
Too many idle people.
It came in my dream that Grenada is handled by the devil.
Oh Lord, I hope not.
And yes, and let's pray, girl. Let's pray. Benedict Cador says, I always believe in giving Jack his jacket. If the video I see is correct, both have blame to carry.
Quite agree.
And I couldn't agree with you more,
Quite
Benedict.
agree.
I couldn't agree with you more.
Quite agree.
Sonia McKee says, okay, Gigi, will do. I'm not sure what she's referring to, but anyhow. Okay, I think she's referring to Junior George, JG. Ray Boy, I'm going to see if you get that number.
I'll try.
I will try.
I'll try.
And, you know, at least I do it with a good heart, well-intentioned. Because, yes, I mean, I'm not denying that what happened was bad. It was wrong. And let nobody deny that. But Ray, we have all sinned and come short of the glory of God. I think what's happening here is that there's so much mess going on in this country now that every little thing that happens becomes something monumental. People they've reached the boiling point.
Yeah, but we are not dealing with things as we should, George. If this guy has no right on the radio reading this letter, actually. So he has inflamed the public even more now. So the state needs to take action. From the time the story was unleashed by Kim Jones, the state knew
Was it Kim or the Prime Minister? I thought the Prime Minister said he did.
Well, the truth is, I more believe Kim. so I would not debate the other one. But if we take the necessary action, things like that would happen. I mean, again, as I said, you have your side about the guy in the office. I mean, I have seen a lot of things happening in Grenada where perhaps we could pick up a cutlass or pick up. And there are people who have that ability to keep a storm in a teacup. Others say, no, let the storm hit the whole land. So to me, what we're missing now are these kind of people, the managers who can keep things under control and act quickly and efficiently.
And we need people to be respectable.
Yes, well, that's a shortage. That's a shortage, a huge shortage. I mean, as I say to people, I can't imagine how Grenadians could sit down. Citizenship by investment. People coming in, we don't know who it is. In Antigua, at least, they have to go to a center and say, whatever it is, I'm now a citizen of Antigua. And we all sit here and nothing happening. Investment projects start, there's no finish. I mean, this morning we were talking on the beach. As a little boy, I know the Ministry of Health. And these days they had pit hole latrine. The inspector every 3 months will come, there's a card. And he would write something indicating whatever. I remember that as a little fellow. Yeah. We were talking, we ain't nowhere else we see anybody of that nature come around the village. So, I mean, what is happening? You know, I was in Caracol and a guy was telling me, he was talking about the days of St. Nicholas Prophet when he was what was it, health or whatever, a teacher, truancy officer, whatever, and he's talking about a long time ago. How he met him as a little fella, and the fella is now an old man, coming to find out why you're not in school and the parents have to come. All these things have all vanished and replaced by nothing. Mm-hmm. So that's why we are where we are.
Sad story.
Yes. But we must continue to do what you're doing, though. If we all go quiet, then it will get worse.
Yeah.
So let us do what we're doing, even though we are outnumbered and perhaps not listened to by those in authority.
Yeah. Yeah. God bless us.
Right.
All right, folks, thank you very much, Ray. Thank you very much. Now, you go get your work done, and then I'm going to go and try to feed my face. And be sure to join us on Thursday night for the next edition of McWe Chat. I have little or no doubt that this issue is going to be a part of that. You saw what you didn't. Beverly was on Beyond the Headlines last night with Godfrey Augustine. And boy, some tempers flew.
I bet you Godfrey was in support of the manager.
Yeah.
I could tell you that.
And, they both had some strong points. And I think they both fell short in certain areas. But then again, that's my view. And I still cling to the hope that I, as a citizen of this country, born and raised here, I have the right to freedom of opinion. You may not agree with it,
You must have.
but I have the right to freedom.
Just before you finish,
Yeah.
did you see the piece on BBC, Member of Parliament, where the lady, Greenpeace person, walked into the chamber, his little area, and he just wrapped her up and just wrapped the outside?
No.
Yeah, and the Conservative members, he's on that side, called for some disciplinary action, even though she had no right there.
When was this?
About a month ago.
No.
Yeah, he just grabbed onto her, she's this Greenpeace, and he just wrapped her and just pulled her out of the chamber. And his own friends, his own colleagues in the Conservative, called for immediate action against him. This is his area.
We're not that mature here.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So what the lady did, I mean, you just have to accept that there are going to be people like that anyway.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Ray.
Good, I'll see you. I'm leaving.
Just hang tight for just a sec.
All right.
All right, folks, we're going to take another little break here, and then we'll wrap it up.
The Institute for People's Enlightenment, in collaboration with the UWI Open Campus Grenada, presents the 2019 Commemorative Emancipation Lecture at Norton's Hall, Church Street, St. George's, on Monday, July 21 at 5:30 p.m. The topic, The Making of Grenada and the Grenada Diaspora, the journey of Louise Langdon Norton Little, mother of Malcolm X, from Ladue, Grenada to Montreal, Canada, and to the USA. Presented by Grenadian-born Dr. Merle Collins, Professor of English, University of Maryland, USA.
For more information, email ipeemancipationlectures@gmail.com or call K. Julian Gutu at 459-8967 or Simon Green at 459-1582.
She come from the decline, Louise Langdon Little, must be remembered too.
Studying too hard about back-to-school expenses? Co-op Bank is making back to school as easy as 1, 2, 3. Enjoy competitive interest rates, affordable monthly payments, speedy decisions on applications. Come in and apply today.
Folks, let me tell you in parting, one of the reasons why I so appreciate you is that when there's something interesting, you hang on with me to the very end. And I really do appreciate the fact that you guys have gone 44 minutes beyond our scheduled end of this morning's program. Thank you so much. God bless you. Parting word from the Holy Scriptures from Hebrews chapter 11, verses 6 and 7. And without faith, it is impossible to please God, because anyone who comes to him must believe that he exists and that he rewards those who earnestly seek him. By faith, Noah, when warned about things not yet seen, in holy fear, built an ark to save his family. By faith, he condemned the world and became heir of the righteousness that is in keeping with faith. Hebrews chapter 11, verses 6 and 7. Pilgrims, thank you so much once again. Georgie Porgy appreciates it. I'm going to take off. I hope you have a great day. Come on back. See us tomorrow morning at the same time. I may have a little surprise for you tomorrow morning. They ain't going to tell you what it is. Wouldn't be a surprise if I did. God bless you, folks.